Myself, Sheikh Shaista Yaqub, Assistant Professor in Geography, Chishtiya College of Arts and Science, Huldabad District, Aurangabad. UGC Human Resource Development Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University. My roll number is 26. Welcome to online refresher course on emerging issues in information communication technology. My seminar topic is role of science in disaster management. Introduction. Natural disasters are extreme events within the Earth's system that result in death or injury to humans and damage or loss of valuable goods such as buildings, communication systems, agricultural land, forest, natural environment, etc. For the management of natural, ideal tools for disaster management, since it offers information over large areas and it at short time intervals. Here we focus on the potential uses of geoinformation technologies (GIT) for natural disaster management of various natural hazards and disasters. The GIT includes remote sensing, and GIS has become an integrated, well developed, and successful tool in disaster management. Spatial analysis of hazards is a complex task as a number of factors play important role in the occurrence of the disastrous event. Therefore, analysis requires a large number of input parameters for pre-disaster, disaster, and post-disaster phases. It is almost impossible to fully control the disasters, but a suitable strategy can be developed for disaster management using GIT in conjunction with conventional techniques. Objective: to introduce the science and technology can be more effectively used to reduce disaster risk in countries and communities. Research methodology: the presentation is designed in form of literary review. The method for designing this concept is investigating the specific of natural disaster and role of science and technology for effective management of natural disaster. Analysis of interpretation. First, earthquakes. Remote sensing techniques can add up to the information available through seismic techniques. Generally, the faults associated with earthquakes can be identified on the good resolution satellite imagery, whereas the volcanic related earthquakes are not all that obvious. For this purpose, land use and geological maps can give vital pointers towards potential earthquake zones. Satellite sensors that are active in the visible and near infrared spectral band would be useful. Landsat imageries are more popular because of the long historical data archives of the satellite and its cost effectiveness. Conventionally, aerial remote sensing would be thought as more effective to delineate unconsolidated of deposits setting on fault zones upon which of the destruction occurs and to identify areas where an earthquake can trigger. Second is floods. Application of remote sensing and GIS is conveniently is a very efficient and cost-effective way of flood management. Use of very high resolution imageries like icons or spots have not been very popular yet in the field of flood management due to the high price, but it is likely that these imageries would be available at a responsible price and would be widely used for flood mapping. In the age of internet, GIS has assumed new dimensions, especially for coping with natural disasters like river flooding. The most important advantage of using internet based GIS is that it has opened the door of GIS technology to the end users who would not like to install expensive GIS software. One of the numerous examples in our ARC IMS technology. This technology has been used to develop a web enabled application named Map Action Processing. Digital interactive geo resource for providing very recent information regarding floods risk to an analyst via internet. This technology is at present at an embryonic stage of development but has great potential for expand the user base of GIS technology for flood management by substantially reducing the cost of operation. Since the problem of flood is very acute in the developing countries of monsoon, Asia special attention should be given to deal with this problem in the regional context. GIS models having low cost and simple data requirement are likely to attract the local authorities in the developing countries to adopt this technology as an essential input towards comprehensive flood management system. Third is landslides. Monitoring landslides actively over extensive areas of paramount importance for landslide hazard and risk assessment. Landslide monitoring is generally accomplished by field-based geotechnical and geophysical techniques, complemented with aerial photo interpretation. Most field techniques, however, only provide point based measurements of the landslides. In addition, they do not give information on post movement processes. Although ground based techniques are necessary to acquire very precise information or on displacement or formation at a very specific location in active landslides, especially when they might affect residential areas or major infrastructure. They do not provide information on the displacement fields or surface changes due to the land sliding in a wider area. Moreover, their application to preliminary investigations of unstable areas may sometimes not be cost effective. From visual interpretation of sequential analog aerial photo stereo pairs, evidence of recent slope movements over relatively wide areas can affect be infrared analytically, and digital aerophotogrammetry has been used for measuring long-term landform evolution of rock glaciers and landslides from multi-temporal digital elevation models derived from sequential photos stereopairs or non-stereoscopic digital imagery. Efforts have thus mainly concentrated on extracting possible indirect landslide indicators such as land cover disruption patterns, specific sun shadings, features of humacoki, few surfaces and scarps, and typical lithological occurrence patterns. Third is four. Four is tsunamis. Tsunamis are water waves or seismic sea waves caused by large scale sudden movement of the seafloor due to earthquakes, landslides, volcanic eruptions, or man-made explosions. With increasing population and development along most coastlines, there is a corresponding increase in tsunami disaster risk in recent years. In the in the past, acquiring tsunami damage information was limited to only field surveys and or using aerial photographs. In the last decade, remote sensing was applied in many tsunami researchers such as tsunami damage detection. Satellite remote sensing can help us survey tsunami damage in many ways. In general, the application of remote sensing for tsunami disasters can be classified into three stages, depending on one time and disaster related information. In the first stage, general damage information such as tsunami inundation limits can be obtained properly using an analysis combined with ground truth information in GIS. The tsunami in inundation areas is one of the most important types of information in the immediate aftermath of tsunami because it helps estimate the scale of tsunami's impact. 5 is volcanic eruptions. There are some 500 volcanoes around the globe, about 100 of which uh, erupt every year. Volcano monitoring is important simply because unexpected awakening can imperil thousands of lives over a wide area. Remote sensing techniques can play an important role by providing the vital information with only limited fieldwork, which saves effort and money. Thermal infrared imagery can capture the volcanic heat provided the spatial resolution is high enough. An IR pattern of geothermal heat in the vicinity of a volcano is an indication of thermal activity, which many inactive volcanoes display. Changes in thermal patterns can be obtained for a volcano only through periodic IR imageries of very high resolution, taken under similar conditions of data acquisition. The temperature and gas emission changes, however, can be monitored through a geostationary satellite at ideal locations identified on the thermal imagery. Once alerted by early warning systems, especially need to monitor levels of volcanic activity continuously so that timely precautions can be taken. The level of energy detected is the sum of reflected and emitted energy. The energy emitted by lava makes it invisible in the NIR band but not in the red band. However, the fact that hot spots are equally well detected at high shows that reflected energy only accounts for a small portion of the total energy measured. This property proves useful in determining the temperature of hot spots, lava flows, and intense volcanic activity. Volcanologists were able to monitor rapid variation in volcanic activity when the volcanoes entered a dangerously active phase. The study was able to develop and test a methodology for monitoring volcanoes that is reliable, offers high performance, and enables volcanoes to significantly reduce the amount of field work. Conclusion: natural disasters cause damage to life and property all over the world in various forms. The pressure on the Earth's resource caused by increased population has resulted in increased vulnerability of human and their infrastructure to the natural hazards, which have always existed. The result is dynamic equilibrium between these forces in which scientific and technological development plays a major role. Recurring occurrences of earthquakes, floods, landslides, and tsunamis need to be studied using today's advanced technology to find effective preventive measures. Space technology can help the disaster mitigation process through better future scenario prediction, detection of disaster prone areas, location of protection measures, and safe alternate routes, etc. Post disaster satellite data acquisition helps in disaster recovery, the damage claim process, and fast compensation settlement. Various satellites and sensors on board provide with numerous possibilities of analyzing the data for disaster prediction and mitigation purposes. Impact of land use on natural disasters and ability to predict they would be one of the main contributors to remote sensing technology in this century. Thank you.